Barakata Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one pretty much is You People Are Under the Opiate of Illusion. And pretty much this title just came to me. I just getting home from my walk. I was listening to the Bible. Then I started listening to some music. And I was doing a little research earlier, just going through some of my favorites, just trying to see if I can come up with a topic, to teach on today. And pretty much it's different stuff I was dealing with. And then just before I got, I say maybe like about 15 minutes before I got back, that title popped in my head. That you people are under the opiate of illusion, like that phrase opiate of illusion came to mind. So I said, you know what, this will be good to build off of. And Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Brakatham to you, elders, if there's any apostles, bishops, elders, and Shalom to you, sincere sisters out there. Shalom. And Lord's will, this will be an edifying lesson. So the first thing I did was I just looked up the word opiate. All right, now opiate goes back to opium, of course, which is a drug. It says relating to, resembling, or containing opium, a drug derived from or related to opium. Then the main one I wanted to get is here: dull the senses of someone with or as if with opium. And this is pretty much the definition we're going with, because a lot of these people's senses have been dulled by this, illusion, this opiate of illusion that they're under. And the main culprit of that would be, plantation / Renaissance Christianity. All right, that's what has pretty much pulled the wool over the world's eyes. So much so that we were all under that spell at one point or another until the Lord woke us up. Right, so then I looked up the word illusion, and it means a thing that is or is likely to be wrongly perceived or interpreted by the senses. Right, like when you look at an optical illusion, you might see something, but it's really something else. And that's pretty much what plantation Christianity is. They're using the book. This is why the Apostle Paul warned about that. They're using the same book we're using, but they're pretty much spinning and casting a spell on people, with that so-called plantation Christianity. And that's why you see these Edomites, the main ones on the forefront, pushing that nonsense. Because once Esau took over the world, the first thing he did was deceive the whole world. All right? And Lord's will, we're going to get into that precept, but let's deal with this one first. Galatians 1:6, I marvel that you were so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Yahushua unto another gospel. Now this is the Apostle Paul speaking to the Galatians, which he invested time in building them up and teaching them. You see? So imagine back then this happened. So how much more now in these times when we don't have, when we didn't have, the men of the Lord actually, actively teaching the word at that time like they did back then. You see? And I mean, because you had a process of this truth coming out, but eventually it came to a point where it started to spread. But before that, we were out there. We were pretty much gone. So the Apostle Paul brought these Galatians, which are Israelite foreigners, up in the right way to go, and they were bewitched by what was going on back then. So how much more now? It says which is not another, right? Because they're using the same book, but there be some that trouble you, right? And that's the problem. These devils are troubling Jake, troubling us, and they're pushing that nonsense that they push, and that's why the world believes in that what they call the world Christian view. Let me see something. Let me see. How shall I start? Let's see what it says for World Christian View. Let's go with meaning. Let's see what happens when we put that up. A Christian worldview affirms that God is the sovereign and almighty Lord of all existence. Such an affirmation rejects any form of dualism that matter has eternally existed, or that matter must therefore be evil, since it is the principle opposed to the Most High, the source of all good. So they affirm that the Most High is the sovereign and almighty Lord of all existence, but they're talking about God, so-called white man. Let's go. Let's take God, copy, let's paste that, right? Then let's take Almighty Lord. Let's copy that. Let's paste that. And let's, oh no, see, Satan. Let's see what comes up. Let's go to images. See? Pictures of an Edomite. Pictures of the devil. So that's the worldview that they're pushing to the world. You know, and you have what they call gatekeepers that, you know, say what can come into the teaching and what is to be kept out of the teaching. And of course, anything that conflicts with them, that goes against what they're teaching, they're not going to accept it. This is why they were upset with Puddins, with Putin. That's what Bishop Sakaran calls them, Puddins. You know, they were upset with him because he opened up the vault, baby. You know, and he let the cat out the bag, dude. And they're mad. They were so mad that this one Edomite chick, she said that he pulled out a dusty Jesus. You know, and I've heard that argument before. Now, they're like that because they're so old that the dirt that's on them makes them look black. Oh, yeah, really? So you mean to tell me that if you put a white person somewhere for a long time and dirt gets on them and they can't wash it off, they're going to grow an afro and they're going to grow a wide nose and they're going to be brown skin? Give me a fucking break. I'll give you a break. I'll break your head. I'll break your inside joke. Galatians 1:7, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Yahushua. And that's what they're doing. And that's what they have done. All right. And it goes on. You could read on, but I want to get to a few of these other ones. Let me get to this one here. And then I want to bring out something real quick. 2 Corinthians 4:3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. So this gospel is lost to a lot. In whom the God of this world, which is who? Which is their physical counterpart, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, which is who? The Edomites, right? Which today would be classified as so-called white people. But not all so-called white people are Edomites, because you have Israelites that were mingled among them, and you have some that look like Edomites, but they're actually Israelites. You have some that look like Edomites, but they're actually Hamites. Some that look like Edomites, but they're actually Ishmaelites, so on and so forth. All right, so if you happen to look like a so-called white person or Chinese person or you know, the Africans from Africa or East Indian or Arab or the such, you know, Afghan, you know, whatever the case may be, if you resonate with this word, if this word moves your soul, you know, as far as, you know, wanting to be involved, wanting to give praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, then you are an Israelite, because the very definition of the very thing, or you could say the very definition of the sifting process, you know, of Israel being sifted among the nations is being done by this word. All right, and this is how the elect of the nation of Israel are being gathered right now. In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahushua, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. And if it shines unto them, what happened? They will believe, therefore they will be converted, they will return to the Lord, and therefore be healed, and eventually what? Saved. All right, so I was doing little research earlier on, before we get, I'm going to get some more of these precepts, but I want to hit this real quick. I was thinking about Constantine, right? Which Constantine, who was set up as an emperor, and we give the 1,000-year period beginning around 325 A.D. All right, with Constantine being set up on the throne, and they had something called the Council of Nicaea, which for years we've been saying that 325 A.D. that Constantine pretty much converted to Christianity and made Christianity the official religion of the Byzantine Empire. But that's not entirely true. 325 AD, well, actually, he converted to being a Christian, or he was following Christianity in 311 or 312 AD. 311, 312 AD. If I said BC before, it's AD. 325 AD. But 311, 312 AD, this is when he began his conversion into Christianity. 325 AD, this is when they had the Council of Nicaea, where they discussed the divinity of Yahushua, which he is divine. And they also mentioned, they didn't go in full detail, but they kind of mentioned, well, if he's divine, then that means that Mary had to be divine. But that's where it laid, where they left it, right? So what happened was there were records that would be taken, or what they call today Robert's Minutes, I think they call them, just jotting down what happened or summarizing what happened within these different councils, and they would be passed on to the next council in a different area. So just based off of that, Mary being, if the Lord is divine, which he is, then Mary had to be divine, which they never discussed it. That led in 430 AD for them to make Mary worship pretty much, and Mary being divine official in 430 AD. And out of all places, in Ephesus. All right, the Council of Ephesus, which took place in 430 AD, this is when they made Mary worship pretty much official. Now, I'm not sure if that's the same year what they call the Assumption of Mary. Theotokos, which is another term, which is Mother of God, that they use for Mary to put her up on a pedestal. These are all things where you see that it was a buildup of paganism being amalgamated into the Christian belief, even back then. All right, and these are things that they defend to this very day, which is nonsense, because Mary and Joseph had sex. That's one of the major things, the virgin birth. So it says here, Constantine never directly outlawed paganism. See? So he was a pagan himself who started a conversion, which they call, it starts with a C. I forget the actual word. It starts with a C, which means that he was a convert, but he wasn't yet baptized. All right? It starts with a C. It should come up somewhere around here. So it says Constantine never directly outlawed paganism, because what he did was he amalgamated the pagan belief with Christianity, right? In the words of an early edict, he decreed that polytheists could celebrate the rites of an outmoded illusion. Outmoded means outdated. Illusion, so long as they did not force Christians to join them. In addition, there are accounts that indicate Constantine remained somewhat tolerant of the pagans. And this is why you had a lot of the pagan beliefs incorporated into the Christian religion, even unto this very day. All right, now when we scroll down some more, it said, what was the official religion of the Roman Empire before Christianity? The Roman Empire was a primarily polytheistic civilization. That's what we call it, the pagan Roman Empire. When the last Edomite emperor ruled on the throne, so to speak, which was Domitian of the Flavian dynasty, when he fell, or when he was, I believe they said he was assassinated, if I'm not mistaken. When he was taken out, Jake took over under Nerva, and so on and so forth. The rest of the emperors after that were Jake, but they still were under that pagan Roman Empire. Now, we've said that 325 AD is when actually it was a switch from the pagan Roman Empire to the Holy Roman Empire. But really, Constantine did not make, from what I'm researching, he did not make Christianity the religion of the empire, official, so to speak. And why do I say that? Because when we go over here, check this out. What Roman emperor made Christianity the official religion of the empire? Rome becomes Christian in 313 CE. The Emperor Constantine issued the Edict of Milan, which granted Christianity as well as most other religions legal status. So he made it legal, but he didn't make it the official religion, because he allowed still pagans to worship and so on and so forth. Now, when we go to 380 CE or AD under Emperor Theodosius, this is where he issued an edict in Thessalonica, which made Christianity, specifically Nicene Christianity, the official religion of the Roman Empire. So really it was 380 AD when Christianity became officially the religion of the Byzantine Empire. All right, 325 AD you could say was the beginning of it, but it was 380 AD when Theodosius made it official, made it the official religion of Christianity, and he also was not allowing pagan worship to happen. But paganism had already seeped in the church, because you're talking about what, a good at least 75 years or so. No, actually a good 55 years or so in the future. After that period of time, that paganism was already engulfed in that type of Christianity. Most other Christian sects were deemed heretical, right? And that's why I said, well, no, the only Christianity that's accepted is a Nicene Christianity. Just like today, you have devils like Vocab Malone say, nope, only Calvinism is accepted. You have others say, nope, only Jehovah's Witnesses accepted. Others say, nope, only the Seventh-day Adventists is accepted. And others say, nope, only the Roman Catholic Church is accepted. And this is where all that confusion came in. Lost their legal status, so that most other Christian sects were deemed heretical, lost their legal status, and had their properties confiscated by the Roman state. What year did Christianity become the religion of Rome? Over time, the Christian church and faith grew more organized. In 313 AD, the Emperor Constantine issued an Edict of Milan, which accepted Christianity. See? 10 years later, it had become the official religion of the Roman Empire, but it wasn't officially set until 380, and it was based off of that Nicene Christianity. All right, so it was there, but it wasn't really an official religion of the Byzantine Empire until 380 AD, which they put here CE, which is Common Era. All right, and this Nicene Christianity is what they're pushing today, which is nothing more than lightly veiled pagan worship. And this is how Esau, when he got into power and set up his face, let's see if we still got that devil, and set up his face, matter of fact, let's just type in God. Boom. What do we have? Edomites. All Edomites. You got this demonic picture here. This demonic picture that's about as beautiful as a rotten apple. This is not making it big enough. Let me see if I can find another one of the so-called Sistine Chapel. As you can see, they got the Most High looking like a fairy. He got a beard, but they got him looking like a fairy, an Edomite with a pink tutu on, with a slip under there. And then this faggot over here, shit, they about to take this page down. This mole over here, bucket naked. And this is supposed to be Adam, and that's supposed to be the Most High. And then you got the angels all, posing like moles. Sweet as they want to be. But this is what this is what this is the opiate, the illusion that was pushed on the world, and that's why they were so mad at Puddins, which is Putin, which that's what the Bishop Sakaran calls them, Puddins. So when we go into 2 Corinthians 4:3, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Why? Because they're under that magic illusion, of this plantation Renaissance Christianity. All right. Now, before we read more here, matter of fact, no, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. Which the God of this world, the Lord gave the world to Satan, but pretty much to lock it for a minute. Give me 1 second, please. Salaki for that. I thought it was another important call that I was waiting for, but it's not. It was something else. It says, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. And they blinded the world through what? Through plantation Christianity and through something known as iconoclasm, which they, duped the whole world into believing that the Heavenly Father, His Son, are so-called white men, Edomites. All right? And this is why we don't like calling on the name Jesus or Christ, because when you speak about Jesus or Christ or God, this is the image that comes up. This is what people start to think in their mind. This bullshit right here. Look at this shit. Goddamn leprous bastard talking about this is the Most High. Are you out of your fucking mind? Look at this shit, man. But this is supposed to be holy. But then when Miriam got hit with this skin color, this skin disease, leprosy, Aaron was hopping up and down, praying to Moses to pray to the Most High not to let this sin come upon them, because this is a fucking curse. Fucking Kris Kringle looking ass devil. And Saint Nicholas was a Jake anyway. All right, so it says 2 Corinthians 4:4, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahushua, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. And I want to say a little bit of this, man. I got a picture earlier today which came up. I don't know what exactly, where exactly it's from, but it's like a news clipping. It's a breaking news clipping. And check this out. This is more illusion for you Jakes out there. All right. This is from the Eldad Tazwan from Atlanta that sent this to me. It's somebody called Megatron, but I'm not sure like what site this is from. But it says here, Iran Observer. Then they show a picture of a missile being shot out, the Iranian flag, and then it says Iranian MP says if Israel strikes Iran's nuclear facilities, then we will strike Israel's Dimona nuclear facility in 400 seconds. Now, this is why these devils, which allowed Jake to go there, because you got to remember, when you go to the land of Israel is broken up into 4 quarters. Let's see. Right here. Boom. You have the Christian quarter, you have the Armenian quarter, you have the Jewish quarter, you have the Muslim quarter. All right? Now they're in the land there. But then with Jake, the other, I mean, because you have certain Armenians that are Jakes. You know, you had a lot of those Armenians that are Jakes. But when you go to Dimona, Israel, oops. This is where they slapped Jake at back in the 60s when they went back to so-called back to the land of Israel under Ben Ami, which is right here, Dimona nuclear reactor. And that's why they placed them there, because they know if they got attacked, that would be the main place that they would attack. All right? And this is why we know that when the scripture in the book of Ezekiel 38 speaks about when you come down here, right, Ezekiel 38:14, therefore, son of man, prophesy, saying unto Gog, thus saith the Lord power, in that day when my people of Israel dwelleth safely, shall thou not know it? Because eventually they're going to know when we, the actual people, dwell safely there. And thou shalt come up from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company and a mighty army, meaning their armies and their facilities. It says, and thou shalt come up against my people of Israel. Why? Because you have Israelites still in that land. And among these different groups, you have Israelites among them also that are in that land. But you definitely know that there are Israelites down in Dimona. A whole community of them that went back there in the 60s under Ben Ami. All right? So here it is. They give Jake this land near these nuclear, silos, because they know that if they get attacked, that's going to be the first place to get attacked. So what better place to put the children, the real children of Israel, than in this area so that they can get wiped out? All right? So, there you go. There goes Dimona right there. If you can see it. Right there. Boom. And this is the southern part, which that's what the word Negev means. Negev means south or southern. All right? So I just wanted to make mention of that because it just came to mind. This is another deception. This is why Ben Ami Carter, took the Jakes from here back in the 60s and brought them over to this land because he was deceived. Now, he knew he was an Israelite, but he was just deceived into thinking that he was supposed to be in that land now. But everything is done to fulfill prophecy. All right? Prophecy, prophecy, prophecy. So, going to Revelation 20:7. Matter of fact, let's go to the first verse and we'll jump down. And it says, I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. This great chain in his hand represents slavery, captivity, represented a long prison sentence. And when did this begin? This began, we say, roughly around 325 AD with the Holy Roman Empire, what they call the Holy Roman Empire. But we're finding out now that the Holy Roman Empire wasn't really made a Holy Roman Empire, or the official religion of the empire wasn't really made official until 380 AD under Emperor Theodosius, who set up the Nicene Christianity as that, because they had acknowledged Christianity, but this was pagan Christianity. All right. And then maybe about, 380, 50 years in the future, around 430 AD, that's when in Ephesus, out of all places, they made pretty much Mary worship official. Now, let me see. Assumption of Mary. Let's see what year that happened. Assumption Day commemorates the belief that when Mary, the mother of Yahushua, died, her body was assumed into heaven to be reunited with her soul instead of going through the natural process of physical decay upon her. See? So there was a taking up of Mary. What year? Okay, so that had to come later. Let me see. What year? So see, this goes all the way to 1950. So do you see how they kept adding on to that? First Constantine sets up, Christianity. He accepts Christianity when he's still in a so-called unbaptized state, and then he allows pagans to still worship their bullshit, right? And all of that seeped into there, because when we go back to Luke, right? What is that? 11. And 27. Yep, Barakateh. And it came to pass, as he spake these things, meaning Yahushai, a certain woman of the company lifted up her voice and said unto him, Blessed is the womb that bare thee, and the paps which thou hast sucked. Bigging up Mary. Now, Mary was a great woman. No doubt about that. But that's where it ends. She is not to be worshipped. You got these devils, having, this goes back to Jake, having people saying, prayers to Mary for protection and all that. Come on, man. That's not in the scriptures. So what did Yahushua say? You're right. And my mother should be worshipped. Remember to pray to her. But don't forget to pray to me, but remember to pray to her. He didn't say that. But he said, rather blessed are they that hear the word of the Most High and keep it. See? Because that whole earth mother worship, that bullshit, the mother goddess worship, went all the way back to the beginning of time. And it just kept going, being brought up from empire to empire. And they all had the same beliefs, the same worship, the same mythology, just under different names or different variations to it. Hail Mary, right. Matter of fact, let's see what year that came out. Let's get rid of some of these that we don't need. Hail Mary, or prayer, origin. Origin. The Hail Mary is rooted in Scripture. No, it's not. The initial lines are taken directly from the first chapter of the Gospel of Luke. We read that the Most High sends the angel Gabriel to proclaim to the Virgin Mary that she is to bear the Son of the Most High upon her coming to her. And the angels greet Mary saying, Hail, favored one. Yeah, it was a greeting. We ain't supposed to be worshiping her. Who made up the Hail Mary prayer? Now, here we go with the bullshit. What does the beginning of the Hail Mary come from? 16th century, which is what? The 1700s. This is when Esau was up in there. The Hail Mary is a traditional Catholic prayer addressing Mary. Those are traditions, not scriptures. The mother of Yahushai. The prayer is based on two biblical passages featured in the Gospel of Luke and the angel Gabriel's visit to Mary. The Annunciation. It says, and Mary's subsequent visit to Elizabeth, the mother of John the Baptist. The visitation. It is also called the angelical salutation, as the prayer is based on the Archangel Gabriel's words to Mary. The Hail Mary is a prayer of praise for and of petition to Mary. They never said it wasn't a petition to Mary. The angel wasn't praying to her. Matter of fact, man, these fucking devils, boy, woo. And you got these devils and Jake. Let's see. This is Luke 1:28. And the angel came unto her and said, Hail, thou that art highly favored, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Yeah. He didn't pray to her. Let me see what the word hail is. Let's go to the word hail. Hail. The word is kaido. Kaido, right? Kaido. To rejoice, be glad, to rejoice exceedingly, to be well, thrive. In salutations, hail. At the beginning of letters, to give one greeting. Salute. It was a salute. He wasn't praying to her. He'd have been going off if he would have been praying to Mary. Hail, meaning Small lumps of ice, something that gives effect. Nope. What does it mean? What does hail someone mean? There we go. To cheer, salute, or greet, welcome. Yeah, it was a salutation. It had nothing to do with praying to her. You know? Beautiful. There we go. Damn. This elder's on fire. Revelation 9 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, meaning the angel. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So here it is. The angel's telling John not to do it, not to bow down to him. But then Gabriel, one of the archangels, is going to bow down to Mary? Come on, man. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Revelation 22 and 8. And I, John, saw these things and heard them, and when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which showed me these things. Then saith he unto me, see thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren, the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book, worship the Most High. Galatians 1:8. But though we are an angel from heaven, that's heavy because I was just thinking about that. Preach any other gospel unto you than that which you have preached unto you, let him be accursed. That's why the Apostle Paul also came back and said, anathema maranatha. Let him be accursed, our Lord comes. Pretty much in like roughly, breaking it down. And it says, as we said before, so say I now again. If any man preach any other gospel unto you than that you have received, let him be accursed. And that's pretty much what is going down. All right. So all this stuff that you hear about and see is all bullshit, but it has its origins back in pagan Christianity. Going back to Constantine, going back to Theodosius. And although Theodosius, so-called, let me see. Although Theodosius banned the pagan worship from Christianity, it was still in there, And how do we know? Because 430 AD, right? This is all a part of, the so-called Holy Roman Empire. The Council of Ephesus, also known as the Third Ecumenical Council, was a gathering of leaders of the Christian churches in the Roman Empire to deal with the Nestorian controversy. It was held over several sessions in 431 at the Church of Mary in Ephesus. Mary in Ephesus goes back to what? Diana of Ephesus, which that's what they worshipped in Ephesus. Diana. The mother goddess. Acts 19:24. For a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, which made silver shrines for Diana, brought no small gain to the craftsmen. And he was the one that had a problem with the Apostle Paul, because the Apostle Paul was preaching to Jake back then not to worship Diana because that was a pagan idol. All right. And I just want to jump down to the main point. 28. And when they heard these things, they were full of wrath and cried out, saying, great is Diana of the Ephesians. And that's why they made Mary worship official in Ephesus. But when they knew, and it's not talking about Mary, it's talking about Diana. It's talking about the so-called mother goddess. Because mother goddess also goes back to what? Mother goddess also goes back to a term called Theotokos. Theotokos, God bearer. Theotokos, a Greek word, is an ancient title for the Virgin Mary, which is really a title for the mother goddess, meaning God bearer, mother of God. Mother goddess, worship, the worship of the so-called goddess. And Jake was going off on that big time. Matter of fact, let me see, where were we at? I don't want to lose my spot. Let's go to Jeremiah 7. Let me hold that real quick. And this goes back to what Jake was worshiping back then, which was Ashtoreth, which was an ancient name for the mother goddess. There's one in what is that? Numbers. I think it's Numbers 2. Not Numbers. Joshua. It's either Joshua 2. Let me try it this way. Judges 2:13. It says, and they forsook the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This is dealing with Jake. And served Baal and Ashtaroth, which is another name for the mother goddess. Pagan worship. Nothing different. Aishatharoth, which is star. Right, that's what you get the word star. Astarte. Another way of saying it is Astarte. False goddesses in the Canaanite religion, usually related to fertility cult. And that's why Diana of Ephesus was also always shown as a woman with many breasts, representing fertility. Images. Let's try Diana goddess fertility. Of fertility. There we go. There goes your Theotokos. See that? Those are all breasts. And that is a representation of many children, many blessings, children. All right? Those are all the breasts. And you see they broke off her nose. Nose looks a little wide there. Because the original so-called mother goddess goes back to Semiramis. Semiramis, Tammuz, and Nimrod. I'm sorry, Semiramis, Nimrod, and Tammuz. All right? And that's the fertility goddess. That's what this whole madness is all about. We were somewhere else too. What's this? Okay, Diana. Okay, Acts 19:34. But when they knew, okay, they're great as Diana. Acts 19:35. And when the town clerk had appeased the people, he said, "You men of Ephesus, what man is there that knoweth not that the city of the Ephesians is a worshiper of the great goddess Diana, and of the image which fell down from Jupiter?" See, when we look up Diana, you got Artemis, which is a Greek way of saying it. Artemis, which is complete light, flow, restrained. Artemis, that is to say the so-called Tauric or Persian or Ephesian Artemis, the goddess of many Asiatic people, to be distinguished from the Artemis of the Greeks and sister of Apollo. A very splendid temple was built to her at Ephesus. See, Ephesus. This is why they made Mary worship official in Ephesus. Council of Ephesus, 430 AD, which was set on fire by Herostratus and reduced to ashes, but afterwards, in the times of Alexander the Great, it was rebuilt in a style of greater magnificence. All right? That's what it goes back to. And that's how they duped the world. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go here and finish off here. Revelation 20:7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. And during the Renaissance period, that's when this prophecy took place. And from that point in history, Esau pretty much lied to the world and set himself up in power as the Most High, as Yahushua, as the angels, as the Israelites, so on and so forth. And if you dare question it, then, the wrath of Esau will come down upon you. That's why you have devils like Vocab trying to, defend that bullshit. But the elect are not going to be deceived. But the rest will, because, matter of fact, I'll leave you with this one here. Revelation 13 and 3. And I saw one of his heads as they were wounded to death. This head, it goes back to the ancient Roman Empire. There's many videos on this. All you got to do is type in our breakdown of Revelation 13, GMS, and, brothers have gone over, this many times. So it was wounded to death. When was it wounded to death? Well, it started with when Domitian fell, the Edomite emperors fell, and Jay got into power. But a better date would be around 325 AD, to about really 380 AD. All right, as we're finding out even more now. All right, and this is, I'm sorry, yeah, that's when it was wounded. It fell for 1,000-year period, as we read in Revelation 20, and then it came back into power during the time of the Renaissance. And his deadly wound was healed during the time of the Renaissance. And what did he do? He went around the world deceiving the world. It says, and all the world wondered after the beast. That's why to this day, every nation wants to be Esau. The women of these nations want to marry into Esau. They want to change their chinky eyes into, Edomite looking eyes. They want the ones that are brown skin, they want to change their skin color to be in so-called white. Why? Because the standard for beauty that was pushed out there was that Edomite standard of looking like a so-called white person, when the scriptures tell you that that's nothing but leprosy. You see? So with that, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. The majority of the people of the world are under the opiate of illusion. And we read the word opiate. The third one was dull the senses of someone with or as if with opium. And what is that opium? Religion. Because religion is an opiate, and it has numbed and drugged the mind of the people so much that it removed them, it removed their senses, desensitized them to accept and believe this bullshit. Let's see if we could find. Okay, well, I let go of those other ones, so it's all good. Dealing with what the devil looks like. You put in. Just put in God. All you gotta do is put in God, and boom, go to images, and what do you get? A bunch of devils. All right. So with that, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. To the next time I say shalom. The water for tuning in.